Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video I'm going to show you how I created this Christmas elf nail. I popped a suggestion in the Now Sugar group what I should create next, and someone said an elf, and as it's still Christmas time I thought I'd give it a go, even though I wasn't quite sure where to start. So I did end up having to Google cartoon elf pictures and I went from there really. So I'm creating the hat now using Nao Nails Pure Red. I really need a, what do you call it, one of them little, what are they called? Like a craft knife, because I was using my scissors, my little nail scissors. I don't have any clients, so please don't worry that I would do this on a real person, because I wouldn't, and I don't have insurance, which is why I don't have any clients yet, because I'm still pretty new at doing this, so don't think I take scissors to people's nails regularly at all really. So what I'm doing here is cutting out part of the hat. I want the bottom part of the hat to have like a spiky, I don't even know how I'd describe this, but the bottom part of his hat is going to be red with triangles, and then the top part is going to be green with triangles. So all I'm doing here is just patting the green acrylic up against the red acrylic, and then when it's dried I'm going to file it to make it more neat. Make it neater, because at the moment it looks like a great big mess. See, like I filed it and it looks so much better already. So I'm taking warm beige again. I think everything that I'm using today is Nao unless I say otherwise, but this is warm beige to create the elf's face. So now I am giving him an ear. So they kind of have pointy ears. So I wanted to do it so that it was sticking out over his hat, so that you could tell that he was an elf. So I'm just kind of trying to shape it into a point. I don't have the best brush. It was only a cheap size 2 brush, I think it was. So I'm just using it to mould the ear, and then I'm going to kind of put a little hole to create a bit of an earlobe. Oh dear. So that was his first ear. Then I'm going to do the same on the other side, again trying to mould it out into a point, and then digging my brush into it slightly to create a bit of a lobe. Hang on, the lobe's the bottom bit, isn't it? I suppose it's more of an ear canal you're going to make with when you poke it in. I don't know. You get the gist. So I'm quite happy with his ears. I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, I'm making the bauble for his hat. So just get a bead of white acrylic and pop it just sort of over his ear and at the bottom of his hat. I kind of wanted to make it textured, so I was kind of trying to stab it with the brush, but it hadn't quite set properly, so the acrylic just kept bouncing back out anyway. Then I popped, we're going to make the dangly bit of his hat, so you're just going to place a bead of green acrylic above the bauble, and then just mould it as I'm doing here, just so that it looks like it's hanging over the front. Now I'm creating a little nose. Actually, it ends up quite a big nose, but I quite like that it's a big nose. So I just move the acrylic up into a point so that it's kind of like a tear shape, or a big tear shape. And then using the point of the brush, I just poke up into his nose to create 2 nostrils. It actually turns out pretty good. I think he's got such a cute nose. So that is his nose. Look at that. That's my first ever nose. It's brilliant. So to create his uniform, I'm doing exactly the same for his collar, I suppose you call it his collar, as I did for the red part of his hat. So I just put down a bit of red acrylic, I wait for it to start to set, and then I cut out the triangles with my scissors because I don't have a craft knife. If you are doing this with a craft knife, do take care on a real person, obviously, and I would suggest that you do it with a blunt craft knife. So there we are, that is his collar. Then I'm going to do exactly the same as I've done with his hat, just cover the whole bottom with green acrylic, and then I'm going to file around his collar just to neaten it up again. Don't worry if it's still not that neat, because later on we're going to, here we are, look, we're going to use some gel polish. We're using a white gel polish, a black gel polish. This was a red one that I didn't take the name of. Red Lady it was called, and this pink one is called Daphne Rose. I love the pink one. So with the red, I'm going over the parts where the green of the hat meets the red of the hat, just to neaten up the edges and make it sort of look a bit more even. Then we do the same with the collar. Now we're going to create his eyes using white gel polish. So this is obviously going to be the whites of his eyes. Now using, this was another one that I didn't note down earlier. This one is called Stone Washed from Chinkies. This is going to create the colour of his eyes. I don't know what the coloured part is. The iris. Is that the coloured part? I'm not sure. Now, the pupils using black. Now I'm going to draw on his mouth. I didn't want to do this with acrylic because I'm not very good at lips, so I just painted on a mouth. It was a bit of a cartoony mouth, and I don't quite know if it suits him, but it's done now. So I've cured that in the lamp. Every time I paint on top of a layer of paint, I cure it in the lamp. So I've done the whites of his eyes, cured it, done the blue bit of his eyes, cured it, and then done the black bit of his eyes and cured it. Otherwise it will all just run into each other. So if you're going to paint on top of a colour with a different colour, cure it in the lamp first. So this is the belt, his belt, and where his jacket meets. I don't know what you call that bit. Now I'm just placing on some red buttons. I've cured that in the lamp, and now I'm trying to put detail on his buttons. So you know when you sew on buttons, they've got like 2 holes in. So that's kind of what I was going for with them little dots on his buttons. So I cured him in the lamp for a full 60 seconds, and now I'm top coating him with my Urban Graffiti top coat, non-wipe. I decided I didn't like him top coated like that. He looked too shiny. So later on, I think you'll see at the end, I put matte top coat over his face because I thought he looked better with a matte top coat face as opposed to a shiny face. He looks too oily. Looks like he's got bad skin, and no one likes oily skin, do they? With this gold Elite 99 gel, I'm creating his buckle. I love Nail Sugar's Gold Digger glitter. It's a beautiful gold holographic glitter. So what I do before I cure the buckle, I sprinkle on the Gold Digger glitter just to give him a bit more sparkle. Cure that in the lamp for 60 seconds. Once it's cured, wipe off the excess glitter, and that's him finished. And this is him with the matte face because it looks a lot better, I think. Although it looks like he's got a PVC uniform on now, which is a bit odd. Anyway, if you did like this video, please give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.